Okay, horse is in season. Open season for the horse. Gotta make a little adjustment here on the trim. That's about as good as it gets. Eyes are watering. Boy, this thing don't track worth it. Yeah. Sounds fantastic. Sounds tight. Good God, it's tight. And my steering is not. I just changed radios. And I set my endpoints on the bench, and of course I set it up so that it's not straining the servo, but I got a servo horn that's too long on there, so if I turn one way it's hitting the chassis support. So until I fix that, this is as good as it gets. Ooh. I tried putting TSM back in, but wasn't meant to be apparently, because the receiver must be bad. I couldn't program the throttle range. I'd get one blink and that's it. It wouldn't register forward throttle. So if anybody knows what that means, I don't know. I get the one blink and that's it. I pull full throttle, but it never registers. So I can't go to reverse programming because it doesn't get there. Pretty sure it's just a bad receiver. Most likely it's one that I was feeding 8.4 volts to. Actually, I don't think it was 8.4, I think it was 7.4. It was good for a while, but then it started creeping forward without input. And I determined that the receiver just wasn't liking the 7.4 volts. And I bet it did do damage. I don't know. I turned it back to 6 volts and it seemed fine, but I don't know. Now you can't get it to program. I don't know what's up with that. Traction is not particularly good here, obviously. Ice capades. I bet the Duratrax tires would be better. They're softer, better grip. These sledgehammers are like fucking like those cheap fucking Walmart fucking boots, work boots. Sound like you're walking on blocks, wooden blocks, in the cold especially. But that pinion mesh sounds terrible. I probably should fix it, but should do a lot of things that I'm not doing. Oh, Tumbo Wumbo. So of course not having TSM means no self-righting feature. Not that I would have used it anyway, because all it seems to do is tear up your drivetrain prematurely. And limits my exercise. Obviously I need that. Everyone needs it. So here we are. He's definitely slick. Makes you a better driver not having it, the TSM. We're in the 20s here today. Windy. Feels like we're in a wind tunnel lately. Last 3-4 days. Up to 50 mile an hour at times. Stand here for a little bit. Let's see what happens. See if I can't run into myself. Just I'll hit something. It's very unpredictable, this slide. Usually I get a good jump off of that, but apparently that needs traction that I don't have. Deadwood. This poor horse has been through hell. So sloppy, it's ridiculous. Well, you can see that. Trying to drive it down the driveway, can't even keep it straight. Gotta say, Traxxas 10th scale is pretty damn good as far as reliability, yeah, you know what I'm saying, reliability, and just simply being neglected. I mean, the bearings are all nasty. And no hubs. I'm sure the diffs ain't much better. Ain't looked at them in 3 years, which basically means ever. Never looked at them. I did just replace a bearing for the center diff. Turned out that's what my noise was. I had a weird noise. Noise I hear now is definitely just too tight a mesh, I'm sure. Pretty sure. Ooh. It's fucking rough. The ground just swelled up and then froze. Had all that rain. I didn't pay attention in school, but I do remember there's stalagmites and stalactites. Well, I don't know what it is when it sticks up, but we got a lot of that here. Ground froze and it just, the ice just came up out of the ground. So now we got icicles coming out of the ground. I know what I'm doing. Expert. Expert. This steering ain't too bad, but it definitely turns better one way than the other. Due to my servo arm being too long. Gotta have the Haas clear the lanes for the Mojave coming up next. Just got the Mojave back together. I'm pretty excited. It's a Mojave Wide Max. It's not a Creighton XL, it's a Mojave Wide Max. And Traxxas can eat shit, because I'm using the name anyway. Sue me if you want. I ain't got nothing. I guess you could take my RCs, that's about it. Yeah. And whatever we own of the house, I guess. Which would be pretty devastating. Hands are definitely getting cold. At least I thought the gears would have run in by now. It is coasting a little better. I guess my old Fly Sky GTV3 is really on its last leg, because the throttle pot doesn't seem to hit neutral, and now the steering doesn't center either. So I should say center changes depending on where you let go of the wheel. But as we all know, you're not supposed to let go of the wheel ever. So it's a lot more fun when you get a little more grip, because then you can actually jump. Whew. Battery might outlast my fingers. Hate to say it. Sure, it's dead enough to shut it down now though. Burned up enough. I suppose I wouldn't go doing those 10-20 foot jumps in this kind of weather, but I am pretty surprised at just how well the plastic does hold up, because my fingers sure aren't. I'll tell you that. I guess some people RC with gloves on, but I can't seem to get a feel for it. At least not any gloves that are worth wearing. Any gloves worth keeping, or that are capable of keeping your hands warm, are just too thick to feel what you're doing, I think. Well, that's my stance. There it is, LVC. Ooh. So there it is. It hits LVC and then completely shuts down within a second or two, so you know it's a shitty battery. Beat. It's beat. Not unlike myself. So there she is in all her glory. I unplugged the motor fan because I figure it really doesn't need it right now. But yeah. Hossy Frost. Bing bong. Peace out.